An acoustic snare drum has three elements. The initial attack as the stick hits the head, the main body of the drum, the tone, and the buzz of the snare wires under the drum. As my Buchla system has a 3-channel mixer, I'm going to try and make all three elements and mix them together to make an acoustic sounding snare drum. Again, I'm going to use my Buchla system's programmable pulser to trigger the events, so both hands can be free to patch and tweak the knobs. The first element I'm going to send to my mixer channel 1 is the main body of the drum, which in this case is going to be a sine wave from a 258 oscillator. The lower part of the 258 oscillator has a continuous wave shape from sine to square. I'm going to introduce a little bit of the square just to give the sine a bit more brightness for a snare sound. For the attack part of the acoustic snare drum sound, going into channel 2 of my mixer, I'm going to use an FM oscillator, again a 258 being frequency modulated with a short decay. The final element of the snare sound is the snare itself, the wire buzz underneath the drum. For this I'm going to use a noise source. So that's a basic snare drum sound using the Buchla modular, but I might add a few more elements to give it a bit more complexity and a bit more interest. I've got two outputs on this mixer, so I'm going to send the second output to the Buchla preamp, just like I did with the bass drum patch. It just adds a bit more body and a bit more character to the sound. Out of the Buchla preamp, I'm going to go to a very interesting module, a Verbos time domain processor, the 288V. It's a very crunchy and rather nasty sounding delay unit. The Mark Verbos delay is going to add a bit of space around the drum, which I'll control with another VCA. Plus it just adds another level of crunch and nastiness. The tone out of the Verbos delay isn't quite right, so I'm going to send it to my 4-channel filter and see if I can find a filter setting that really brings out the snare and the noise to add to the body of this drum. So I'm sending both mixer channels and all the elements to a third VCA controlled by a third ADSR. Then I'm going to dial in the tail of the drum to taste. What you're hearing in this video is a continuous stream of hits out of the Buchla system. Because of all the analog oscillators and Vactrals and various other elements, every hit is different. What I did for the TM6 Pro was pick out my favourite couple of hits, ones that had the best smack at the front and most body in the sound, and I mastered those for the final factory library.